Well, ladies and gentlemen, Paragon Major League 9 brought to us a very clear meta. The top-end players were playing certain cards, certain roles, and they didn't really deviate from that too much. I thought I would bring that to you with a few videos here showing you very meta decks. Marillus Action is a game and screen recorder that offers the lowest megabytes per frame, the lowest computer resource usage, and the highest FPS recording. Check the link in the video description to learn more. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Paragon Guide. I am Sylphin. We are looking at a terribly meta deck. So this is the Offlane deck. It's simply chaos and growth. Really, that was what most of these players were playing. And then there's a few key cards here that the builds were based around. So what is this Offlane deck? It was used on anybody in the offlane, literally anybody. We didn't see casters in the offlane. We saw primarily Kwang and Feng Mao. That was really about it. Kwang, Feng Mao. We did see Cyborg a few times, and that was it. That's what these heroes were building. So the essential endgame deck here was Unbroken Spirit. Incredibly meta. Power, health, ability armor, off the charts with terms of stats for this card. It's supposed to be a tanky card. It's absolutely not. The 18 power goes a tremendously long way, and that passive is just absolutely ridiculous. Then, of course, we get something like Unstable Cyborg. Again, a card that is 2/3 tank, being the 8 vitality, gives 250 DPS effectively because you're just like right on top of the carry. Everybody's attacking you. You get the passive proccing. It's 250 DPS just from you being tanky. And it's pretty ridiculous. Unstable Cyborg, that's the other card. The last card, if the players really farmed, there was a 15-0 Feng Mao, for example, that that at one point got one of the tribe. Basically, it's just power, even more health to go on top of that basic armor from Unstable Cyborg and the ability armor from Unbroken Spirit, and you get 15 power for each nearby hero. These teams would just group up. You would gain 60 power from the passive, and you would just completely nuke down heroes. Wraith carry was an absolute thing, which you can kind of see through the screen here. You would just back it up into a CC train, and just people would die instantly. So that is the end game. That's entirely the end game here, and along the way you have some other things. We saw Reactor Beast sometimes on there, especially if they had an advantage, so they could just kind of reset their abilities and just kind of go on a 1v4, which we did see. Vital Waters for some incredible tank. And the healing, especially on Kwang. Vital Waters just makes him unstoppable. Overclocked Droid is just it's a fantastic transition card. Kind of same with Vital Waters. It's just a transition card, effectively, between Overclocked Droid and one of the tribe, Unstable Cyborg, and Broken Spirit. Just something to get along the way. Growth Totem is another card that we saw. It basically everybody had Growth Totem all the time. Those top 3 cards that I did just mention, we didn't see all 3 of them used at the same time, but that was an option of the 3 options. You had Growth Totem. You get it as soon as possible, followed by Unbroken Spirit and Unstable Cyborg. Sometimes one of the tribe. We more saw one of the tribe on carries, to be honest with you. And yes, the carry deck is very much similar to this. It's just one of the tribe was used instead of Unbroken Spirit a lot of the time. That was pretty much about it. So you got Growth Totem on there, then you get Unstable Cyborg, Unbroken Spirit, and then you reset. That was it. That was your entire build, because Growth Totem gives you infinite scaling, and you just need the tankiness, and your damage comes from Unstable Cyborg. That was it. You were unstoppable. Everything would die. Nitro Boost, another just transition card, early game power. if you are ahead or just when you're going into agility, nitro boost. Greenspring, great early game tank for the basic armor that does prevail in the early game, and that health regen just for infinite sustain. So you can just stay on the battlefield and farm and get an advantage. Living Guardian, Exoskeleton, Coin Master to start off that early game. That early game tank. Living Guardian, so you can just attack, just continually attack the offlane wave, especially as a Kwang. There's nothing that the enemy support and carry can do. They can't do enough damage to get through Living Guardian, and something like Kwang's lifesteal and his armor on his Light of the Heavens. There's nothing that they can do, especially when you have Exoskeleton on here that reduces damage from enemy heroes by 6. You're literally unstoppable. A Kwang, you level up your lifesteal a little bit, level up your shield, but it's your armor. You're between these two cards. I've said it a couple times already. Just unstoppable. You get Coin Master just for more farm, so you can get Growth Totem faster, you can get a Greenspring, Nitro Boost faster, etc., etc. And then that was it, guys. That's literally it. You get those 3. Eventually, just start getting attribute points. You get Growth Totem as soon as you can, and then you just go into Unstable Cyborg as fast as you physically can. That provides you the DPS, the insane DPS to just win almost anything, from 1v1s for sure to 1v3s, and then you get Unbroken Spirit for even more tank. You know, between Unbroken, you just get kind of Overclock Droid or Nitro Boost or Greenspring before you get Unbroken Spirit. Just use the transition cards. It's kind of silly. So that's it. The gems, you get Ruthless here just because you can just constantly attack somebody, and the more you attack somebody, the more damage you deal, and you're just an unstoppable 1v1. Quick Exit, simply just super powerful. It gets you to objectives faster, gets you back in lane faster, to farm faster, get more of an advantage. Quick Exit, do not underestimate it. Mana Reactor, this is kind of the linchpin of this whole deck. Not only do you get fantastic health regen from Greenspring and just lots of offlane heroes, now you get infinite mana. So you just infinite mana with infinite sustain, infinite advantage, infinite destruction. Shredding Strikes, again, this goes wondrously with Ruthless, and of course it shreds, so it helps your entire team out. Basic attack, remove 2 basic armor from target for 6 seconds, stacks up to 8 times. That goes a long way. 16 basic armor on especially carries. I get Agility, which has basic armor in it. Goes a long way. It shreds. Just more ridiculousness. Reflects and Purifies. So not only are you crazy tanky and crazy, you have crazy sustain and damage because of Unstable Cyborg, Unbroken Spirit, and Growth Totem. You now, whenever somebody does 300 damage, which is really easy, and you don't really care about 300 damage, let's face it, you just get Purified. So back it up. That's Purified. Stuns, that's Purified. Dots, that's Purified. It's insane. And of course, Auto Shield. Do not underestimate Auto Shield. 100 shield in the early game, that's a lot. That's anywhere from a 1/6 to a 1/9 of your total health. That can save your butt, and use that. Use it. Use Auto Shield to your advantage to kind of juke people out into thinking that they win an engagement, but they totally haven't. And a lot of people don't think about it, but in the late game, all of this armor that you're getting from Unbroken Spirit, Unstable Cyborg, and just from Agility, and various other, and your gems and stuff, that is also applied onto that shield. Remember, shield does have armor on it now, so that 100 shield basically turns into 150, 160, 170 effective HP, and that is a basic attack. That's part of a spell. It is significant. Don't forget about that. And that's it. That's it. Unstoppable craziness, really. I would like to say that it's broken. Unbroken Spirit, in my opinion, is absolutely broken. Unstable Cyborg also needs more nerf. I think, honestly, if that was a 1-second cooldown on the passive, that would almost be fine. The power probably needs to be turned down to 13, 12. or less even, probably 10. Unbroken Spirit, that absolutely needs to be way less power. Ability armor, probably less as well, 28, probably about 10 power. And the health is actually fine. It's just way too efficient for the cost to the stats that you get, and also just the whole vitality should be tank. I'm not sure why there's so much damage on these tanky cards. So there you guys go. That is the Offlane meta deck that we saw. Literally, guys, the meta is Growth Totem, Unbroken Spirit, Unstable Cyborg, melee hero. Even if you're a Shinbi. Literally, if you are a Shinbi, if you are a Serath, which is we didn't see her in the PML. I think we saw her once, but that team lost. Unstable Cyborg, Unbroken Spirit, Growth Totem. That's all. That's it. That's it. So that is the meta to currently, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please let me know down in the comments what you guys think. A lot of people are gonna say, you know, Unbroken Spirit isn't that greatest. There are counters. The thing is, and you probably won't like to hear this, is that if you try to counter it, you're worse off as you're worse off as if you were opposed to as if you were just to go with Unbroken Spirit and Unstable Cyborg. If you try to counter it, if you try to get Amplification Engineer to do percentage-based health damage, they'll just out-sustain you, period. There's too much burst damage, you're gonna die before you can get that off anyways. It's just, that is why the meta is so set from these top players, because they've tried it. They've tried to counter it, and it just isn't as effective. So that is why the meta is the way it is. The most effective, not the almost as effective, it's the most effective. And there's just, you know, if there was a counter to it, it would also be effective, but it's not. So there you guys go. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, what do you guys think? Marillus Action is a game and screen recorder that offers the lowest megabytes per frame, the lowest computer resource usage, and the highest FPS recording. Check the link in the video description to learn more. So, ladies and gentlemen, please like the video. If you like it, dislike it, share it with the community. Of course, guys, subscribe. If you guys like this content, especially if you found it useful, please subscribe, because I got a ton of stuff coming out. Literally juicy bits every single day. I'm looking at my I'll maybe tweet it out, actually. I'll probably take a picture of the content I have lined up for you guys for October. So please subscribe as I really like to help you out. And of course, check the video description for all my links to my website for my decks, which is kind of out of date by now. I'm really hope that Paragon allows uploading and exporting, merchandise store, and of course my Amazon affiliate link. Till next time, like always, guys, stay optimistic and positive.